Johnny Floss.
Yo, what's good, Josh? Your boy Johnny Floss, aka Mr. Clever One-Liners, aka LO Cool Floss, aka your favorite puncher's favorite puncher. Listen, this is the first episode of Top 5 Floss, alright? If I'm not on your top 5 list, hear me close so you can get the gist, right? This first episode, right? Now, before I get into the topic, right, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things on here. We're going to talk about life. We're going to talk about music. We're going to talk about my experiences. We're going to talk about whatever. And the reason why it's called Top 5 Floss is because, I like to get on here and talk to y'all for 5 minutes. I don't want to bore y'all. I don't want to give too much, but, I still want to interact for at least 5 minutes. It may go over 5 minutes. It may not. But for the most part, Top 5 Floss, it could be 5 minutes. It could be 5 topics. It could be about whatever. So let me get that out the way. Now, right, what I want to talk about is being an independent artist. You know what I'm saying? Oh, before I get into that too, as you can see, I'm outside. I just came from my morning run. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to see these blogs in different time spaces. It might be in the morning. It could be in the night. It could be in the afternoon. Whatever. Right? Okay. So now, being an independent artist. Being an independent artist is a lot of work. It's time constrained. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot from your mental. You know what I'm saying? Because you constantly second guessing yourself. You constantly feel like you got to compete with not only other people, but with yourself. Whole bunch of things, right? But there's a few things that I want to discuss being an independent artist, right? Number one, right? I have a lot of people that I've met in this scene, and I noticed that they say indie scene. And it gives me the impression as if it's only an indie scene in New York City. That's not the case. There's an independent scene in Chicago. There's an independent scene in New Hampshire. There's an independent scene in Albuquerque. There's an independent scene in London. So I say all of that to say the artists that I know that are in New York or in the tri-state area, don't get caught up in just thinking of New York. There's a whole nother world that we have to get accustomed to and has to get accustomed to us, and that has to gravitate to us in our music. We get caught up in our ego so much that sometimes we think, oh yeah, this is where it's at. This is the cream of the crop. This is not the cream of the crop. The cream of the crop is the world. Let me say that, right? That's number one. Number two, people like to build up anticipation, right? Us as indie artists, we have to build up anticipation. We don't have the luxury of dropping randomly or putting up cryptic posts and all this other stuff. So all my creators and all my artists that don't have millions of followers, millions of dollars backing you, a machine that is pushing your content, you don't have time for a break. I notice a lot of people, they get out and they say, oh, they get on their social media platform and be like, oh yeah, I'm coming this and that and the third, or yo, I'm glad I'm back, or yo, this time around I'm doing this. Yo, anytime you take a break, you take 5 steps back, because there's 5 or 10 more artists that's emerged on the scene while you were taking a break. And I'm not saying don't take a break. I'm not saying don't mentally, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't mentally take a step back. If you have to do that, that's fine. What you got to understand, though, is when you do that, you lose momentum. So people get up here and say, oh, yeah, consistency is key. This, that, and the third. You got to be persistent. You got to be a beast. You got to be a monster. How you being a monster? How you being consistent if you taking multiple breaks within the year? Or multiple breaks in multiple years? Like, it's a disrespect, in my opinion, to the people, not to toot my own horn, to the people like me, to the people that's constantly consistent, that's constantly putting out content, constantly putting out videos, constantly putting on shows, getting out there and putting your brand in the forefront. It's a disrespect to me and to other people that are putting the work in. Now, this is not to point the finger or say any names, because it's not about that. But if you feel a way, then maybe you're part of the problem, or maybe you're the person that this pertains to. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when I post this up, I know a lot of people may feel away and may be upset, but if you are, feel free to DM me. Feel free to hit me up if you feel away. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need to talk to nobody directly. I don't need to point the finger at nobody. I'm good. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? As far as I'm concerned. So, you know, we passed the 5 minute mark. So to wrap this up, you can't afford to take no breaks if you're really trying to build something. You know what I'm saying? You know, Yachty can take a break. Jay could take a break. A doctor that's up, you know what I'm saying, a couple mil, he could take a break. Uh, Whoever, you comfortably up and don't have really much to worry about as far as financially or, you know, family wise or business wise, then you could take a break. All these so-called breaks, I don't know where y'all think y'all gonna be successful at with all these unnecessary breaks, because you're taking a step back. And to all my indie artists that's in New York City in the tri-state area, New York is not the only place in the world. You have to branch out and do what you got to do outside of your market. So I'm gonna end that with that. This is the first episode, Top 5 Floss. Hope y'all tune in. Make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube channel, Floss 24/7. Keep up with all the updates. And for now, every Friday, y'all gonna get a Top 5 Floss episode. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Salute. It's Johnny Floss.